Welcome back. In the previous lecture, we understood how do we work with the numbers. In this lecture, we'll try to understand how do we work with the strings. Whenever you are trying to deal with huge amount of data, since we are trying to talk about big data, we tend to deal with the strings as well. If you are thinking only we have to deal with the numbers, that may not be true. We need to deal with even the strings as well. Any idea what are the different ways we can deal with the strings? What and all we can do with the strings? Any thoughts? Can you pause a video for a bit and try? We can capitalize the words. We can capitalize, we can make it lowercase, uppercase. The second one is, when you're talking about the string, we do have sometimes the spaces. How do we deal with those spaces? We can add or remove those spaces. The next important thing is regular expressions. As a part of the regular expression, we can search for the existence of a string. Means if you are trying to search for a particular word, maybe doctorate or peace, love, we can see whether that particular string is there or not. And the second thing is, you want to replace a mention of one word with another word. For example, let us say you want to replace word violence with love. We can do that. And sometimes what happens is, you may have to replace only one character. For example, you want to replace A with L. We can do all these things. Let us see them one by one. First and foremost thing is, we have three important functions to do capitalization or making the cases lower and making the cases upper. One is init cap. The second one is lower. The third one is upper. What is init cap doing is, let us take an example now. Let us say you have a Spark. What init cap does is, it takes it and makes it as a Spark. What lower does is, makes it Spark. Means all the letters will be of a lowercase. What uppercase does is, it takes this and makes all the characters as uppercase. How do we use them? Let us see them. First and foremost thing is, if you have not imported all the functions by saying import star, you need to import them. Init cap, lower and upper. As usual, whichever the column you are trying to work with, you need to specify that. Mention the data frame name, use a select and mention the init cap. This is a column name of a data frame. In this, whatever the words which are there, all of them will be initial letters. The first letter would be capitalized by using this function. For example, let us say this particular description has two words, hello world. So what it will do is, it will make only the first letter capital and other letters small. Other functions, as we have seen, lower and upper, all it will do is, in the lower, all the letters of the values in this column would be made lowercase and all the letters in this column would be made uppercase. And this is how you use those functions. Next thing is, whenever we are dealing with the strings, we tend to have spaces between the two words. Sometimes more space is there, sometimes less space is there. How do we tackle that? By using these important 5 functions. One is the trim, the second one is the L trim, the third one is R trim, the fourth one is R pad, and the last one is L pad. If you have not imported all the functions, you have to import all these functions by pyspark.sql.functions. Now, how do we do it? For example, now you have a data frame name. You can give that and use a select function. So what is happening here is, we are trying to use a lit function to add something and try to use all these adding or removing spaces functions here. The first and foremost thing is trim. What trim does is, it trims both the spaces on either side, left side and right side. And what L trim does is, it only trims the space on the left side. What R trim does is, it trims the space only on the right side. This is how trim, LTrim and RTrim works. On the other hand, LPAD and RPAD, what they are trying to do is they are trying to pad the characters or pad whatever you have given. In this case, we are trying to pad the space. This can be here, you can pad star also, or you can pad $sign also. You can pad whatever you want to. Whatever you want to pad, you have to specify here. In this example, we are trying to pad the space. And one more important thing is you have to provide number of characters you want to retain. So for example, in this case, only 3 letters will be retained by padding. We will have already 5 letters. On the right side, you will have 5 spaces. Assuming that you are trying to pad star here. How it works is it will become hello star 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 star, because we have specified 10 characters. The total characters here will be 10. This is how you add or remove spaces. Next important thing is regular expressions. When we talk about the regular expression, we can go back to the Perl days. Perl programming was one of the very important scripting language to take care of the regular expressions. And many of the programming languages do provide a option to take care of the regular expressions. It may be Scala, it may be Java, it may be .NET, it may be many things. What Spark is doing is it is taking the advantages of Java regular expressions. Means they have not reinvented the wheel. They have leveraged the capability of Java regular expressions and used them as a part of the Spark. As compared to the Java regular expression and any other programming languages regular expression, syntax and all those things would be different in the Java regular expression compared to other languages. We need to be cognizant of that fact. First and foremost thing is how do we replace the values? Use a regular expression replace this particular function to replace the values. What are we trying to do here? We are trying to create a variable called regular expression string and give them black, white, red, green and all those with R. That means say that all of them are very much valid. So now this is a data frame name and we are selecting and we are using this particular function which will replace a particular string with another one. For example, this is a column name. In this column, if you find the black, white, red, green or blue, all those colors would be replaced by a string named color. You can give whatever you want. It depends on the project. You may want to replace all the white with the red. It depends on what you want to do. In this case, what we are trying to do is in this description column, if you find red, white, green or blue, we are trying to replace that with a string named color. And we are trying to rename that as a color clean. And along with that, we are trying to select a description also to see how the replaced one looks against original one. This is how you use a replace values. We understood how to replace a string with another string. One more important use case is to replace a particular character with another character. That we can do by a translate function. So now we can use this translate here and provide a column name on which you want to use a translate function. In this, wherever you find these characters will be replaced by these characters. L is replaced by 1, E is replaced by 3, E is replaced by 3 and T is replaced by 7. That is how it will be done. We can just use one more way where what we can do is we can just try to go ahead and have a variable contains black, contains white and try to use an instruction and assign this particular expression to this contains black. All we are trying to do here is in a column called description, try to see if a black string is there more than 1 or equivalent to 1. The same is the case with white and trying to use that as a part of our expression here. In a way, we are trying to see whether this particular black or white is there in the column called description. If it has, there will be some boolean value. If it is not there, it will say as a false. That's it. So we are trying to combine the power of expression with the regular expression, wherein that we are trying to see whether we have a particular string or not as a part of one particular column. That's it. Let us see all these things in action.